So by this point, everything was running smooth. The studios was active, the barbershop was cutting, the tattoo shop was busy, the clothing brand was growing, the team was solid. And for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Not rich, not famous, but stable. And after the life I had lived, peace felt like success. I honestly didn't think things could get much better. But life has a funny way of surprising you when you're already grateful. One day, I was running ads on Craigslist, like I always did, promoting the studio, looking for artists, building relationships, doing what entrepreneurs do. That's when I got a message from a guy. He told me he was from LA, but had recently moved to Vegas. He asked if he could stop by and check out the studio. I told him, come through. When he arrived, he looked at the building, looked at the studios, looked at the barbershop, the clothing, the whole setup, and he loved it. But what stood out the most wasn't the business, it was the conversation. Because on paper, we were complete opposites. He came from like a rock band, and I came from hip hop. Different sounds, different backgrounds, different audiences. But music has a way of speaking a universal language. And before long, we were talking like we had knew each other for years. Then he told me a story. He had his own studio, his own building, his own dream. But somewhere on his journey, he lost it. I understood that feeling more than he probably realized, because I'd lost studios too, lost locations, lost opportunities, but rebuilt every time. Then he asked me a question I wasn't expecting. He asked me if he could help me out. I looked at him a little confused, but sure, I said. He smiled. I got a bunch of equipment and storage I like to bring in here. Honestly, I thought he meant a few things. Maybe a speaker or two, a microphone, some cables, nothing major. Man, I had no idea. A few days later, he pulled up and he kept unloading and unloading and unloading. Drums, guitars, concert speakers, equipment I had only dreamed about owning. Piece after piece came through the door. The whole building started transforming before my eyes. What was already a studio was becoming a powerhouse. A place where rap artists could record, where rock musicians could rehearse, where bands could create, where creativity had no genre. And standing there watching all this equipment being moved in, I realized something. This wasn't luck, this was alignment. Because when you build with good intentions, when you create opportunities for others, when you stay consistent through the hard times, sometimes blessings show up from places you never expected. A Craigslist ad, a stranger from Los Angeles, a conversation between rock and rap, and suddenly, Simply the Best became even bigger than I ever imagined. Not because of the equipment, but because of the people. Because great businesses aren't built on things, they're built on relationships. And once again, life has shown me why you build something real. The people eventually find their way to the door. The right people.